Welcome to episode 2 of the road to number 1 on the PlonkIt no moving 1 vs 1 ladder. Even since last night, the number of people playing on the leaderboards has almost doubled, and in today's video we're going to see where we're going to get placed on this leaderboard. I'm pretty sure we've played about 7 games so far, so we only need to win 3 more. The 7th game I played last night off camera against RC and I took the win, so I think we should have about 5 wins right now. Regardless, I've entered the matchmaking, so let's see who our first opponent is and see what rank we're going to end up with today. Okay, well, our first opponent here is Salvador, who beat us in the first video, so let's see how we can do against him today. He's a fat 1300 rated at the moment, so this could actually be a really good win if we can take it. First one here, I think that might be an Oman style taxi with a bit of green on the rearview mirror. Oh, we can zoom in, excellent. And I would assume so. It doesn't feel too southern to me here. We also don't see any huge mountains, so I feel like that works rather nicely for that area. So I think I would go somewhere out here west, maybe on this road here or something like that. And that would fit, especially because we don't see anything too huge going on here, so I think I like that. Otherwise, it could just be something more central southern, but it seems quite populated, so I think I will go for this, and we'll find out soon enough. And he also goes for Oman, but it was like an Oman-style taxi just all the way down there in Ma'an, so similar names, I guess it kind of could have traveled that far or something like that, or maybe they just have similar ones there. Next one here, difficult round, it feels. We got short antenna, so the European style here. We got lots of Scots pines. So I was thinking maybe like Slovakia here could work decently. Wooden poles is weird for Slovakia though. We have a white giveaway sign, so it shouldn't be somewhere in Poland. I'm actually struggling to figure out where this is. Like, it's so densely compact here that it is difficult to say. I mean, houses could even be like Hungarian or something like that, but it doesn't really feel like Hungary, does it? So what about Baltic? Does Baltic work? It feels a bit like hilly for Baltic, surely. If it was Baltic, it would be with that Latvia, I guess. I guess I might try Latvia here. With the wooden poles, it would make sense. So time is low here. We'll just go Riga. I don't love the guess, but I can't think of anything better. We'll see. And it was indeed Riga there. Wow. Did not think Riga ever got that hilly. But maybe, yeah, on the embankment there, kind of makes sense. Okay, so that's a good guess. He also got Riga, he also got Latvia though. So we're only at a slight advantage here. Next one here should just be Lithuania, I imagine. And yeah, everything seems to fit here. Square, concrete pole there. So yeah, that would fit for Lithuania. Folded back sign is something you always see in the Baltics, basically. And it's so flat, so I would imagine it's somewhere central Lithuania here. So I'm just trying to figure out if anything else is possible. I don't think so. I think I would just click like this and call it a day. And indeed, it was central Lithuania there. Okay, nice. Next one here, just somewhere southern Switzerland with the massive mountains here. Will we get any further vibe here? I don't think so. So generally speaking, when you get mountainous coverage in Switzerland, the safest plonk is around here. So I think that's what I'll go for, because there's most coverage around this section near Chur, but yeah, it could just as easily be near Sion here as well. And I don't think I see anything that would sway me one way or the other. So I'll just go for the safe plonk here, and indeed it was nearby there. We're still in the lead here with our Riga plonk, but so far, yeah, it's only about 300 points in it. So we need a small country here, preferably. Let's see what we get here. And it's going to be, okay, it's going to be Greece, I believe. Oh no, it's actually Argentina. Okay, that's not necessarily good. I thought it felt like Mendoza. We do have our eastern mountains here. Okay. Am I even right about the country here? We're driving right. Okay. Are these yellow lines? It could be Turkey. But no, we have the black car. I mean, surely that's the back of the car. I'm actually stressing out a little bit here. I got to work it out. These feel Argentinian, sure. Do we see any flag? Buildings here could have actually been Turkish. Okay, where's the sun? Sun is also unhelpful. White painted trees. Oh my gosh, am I going to throw this hard? I haven't actually worked out what country it is. I think it's Turkish poles here. Yeah, it is. Okay, that's wild, bro. I think black cover's normally down here, but I almost want to hedge it more. I don't know. I think I'll try that. We'll see what this is. This is dodgy as, man. And okay, it was indeed Turkey. Wow, that was clutch. Black car Turkey is so incredibly rare that you just don't think of it. And I was really going to go send Argentina there because the lamps also felt really Argentinian, but it ends up being a good guess there. And of course, his guess in Israel is not going to be enough. We actually got 23.6 there. So a really, really nice start to the video. GG's to Salvador. Just for context there, Salvador is currently rated 9th in the world. So that is a pretty nice victory. Okay, our next match is against Salex, who's number 10th in the world. So let's see how this goes here. It is another no moving one on Diverse World. So expecting kind of easier rounds here. We'll see what happens. On this first one here, we seem to be in North America. I thought maybe even Canada. Looks like we might have big red lights there, so that would be more of an Ontario thing here. So I'm just going to see if I can confirm that here. I would say it kind of looks like it would be then in Toronto. So I think that feels good. I just want to see if I can actually see any French or anything like that. Black sign. I feel like that is something. I can't really remember. Vancouver. Okay. I thought we had a big red light, but apparently not. I was going to say Vancouver as we loaded in, to be fair. But there we go. If we're downtown, somewhere around here. That is surely the University of British Columbia. Yeah, we're fine here. Okay, great. Good to know. And indeed, it was downtown Vancouver there. So that was a bit of a scary round. Obviously, it would have just been over completely if we had have sent Ontario there, but it's good that we took our time to read the signs, which is something I don't always do. Next one here is actually Amman. This time we have proper Amman taxis. They were a bit different last time. They only had green rearview mirrors on the last one. And yeah, this time I'm actually happy to just instantly send here, call it a day. And it will be downtown. Excellent indeed. Okay, next one here. We're on a really high score so far. This one should be somewhere in the Balkans with this bollard. Now, is that normally Serbian? Let's check the antenna. No antenna. We also have B style of guardrail here. If it was more round, that would be found in North Macedonia, but this one's the Serbian style. Okay, now we see if there's any useful signs here. I don't think they're useful at all, right? So with this hilly landscape, more south in Serbia. It's more flat to the north, generally speaking. And beyond that, it's kind of difficult to say here. What vibe do I get for the architecture? Maybe a bit more Bulgarian in a way. Like this house here could certainly be a bit more Bulgarian, so I might go near Nish here, but it's really kind of up in the air for me here. I don't really have a strong preference, and I don't think that's really findable, this river. So yeah, I'm just gonna go like that here, and it was actually Bulgarian architecture apparently, so that nets us a little bit of an advantage here, and a really high score. The next one here is unofficial coverage. Interesting. I think it's actually going to be Jordan again, so this is a really, really crazy seed if it is. Yeah, it's a Jordanian pole top as well, with this really thin crossbar. So this is a really nuts seed, I must say. We have to region guess here on this unofficial coverage. I would say it's probably north of the capital here, but it could be anywhere down to Karak, in my opinion. I actually want to go north here on the way to Jerash. I think that makes sense here. It's a divided highway, which I think would make sense. And let's just pick an angle that works here. Go like that. And indeed it was Jerash here. Okay, guys, we're on a crazy score. Let's see if we can finish this out nicely. And the last one here is going to be Japan, so we have to still plonk nicely here to win. And it's not easy. That's a horizontal plate. I wouldn't really trust it. Pole top is generic. I got maybe a bit more of a north vibe here, but I think I might click central to try and secure something here. This is also a bit more tropical feeling. Japan's very difficult to read sometimes because of the mountains, though, in terms of vegetation. So, red roof there? Okay, red roof makes me want to click more so near Hiroshima, which has a lot of red roofs. So, I might just try that. I think pole tops would be fine. I think I'm just going to trust the red roof here, which is a bit goofy maybe. But in the absence of all other clues, I think it's okay. So, let's click Hiroshima here and hope for the best. And okay, it was north. That was my initial vibe. Fortunately, our opponent goes the same way, and I think that should net us a W here, although it was very close, I imagine. And yeah, we only just win by 3 points. That's basically a draw, but hey, we'll take the win there. We will take the win. Okay, we're on a 6 winning streak, so this should be our either penultimate or final game here. Very keen to see what rating we get, firstly here. But our opponent's a bit lower rated this time, so I'm feeling like we could maybe guess a bit quicker. Though this first round is very hard. I think it should be Philippines with this concrete road, though these are no short rounds when you have it like this. The power line is not twisted. I've heard it's unlikely to be twisted in Indonesia, but ultimately I think I would trust the road here. Where's the sun? Sun could actually be useful here. Sun is more so to the north here. Although, actually, it's pretty much midday. So, yeah, I don't really trust that. I think I have to go with my vibe here, which is the Philippines, but it's a bit dodgy. Let's go here. And it was Philippines. Our opponent goes Indo. Makes sense. It was a very difficult round. Next one here. Would think it was Mexico based on the poles here. The tall wooden poles. And indeed, we have a stubby antenna here, which is something you do see in Mexico as well. So yeah, definitely South American looking fences here. And finally, we have an octagonal pole as well. We'll check the sun for good measure, which is to the south, which is what we wanted to see. So then I guess like Chiapas could work here just because it had a bit of a South American vibe to the whole round. I definitely like that. Chiapas, Tabasco, Veracruz. Something in those 3 would be my main vibe here. Let's see it. And it was Veracruz indeed, so that's a fine guess. Next one here, just going to be Brazil here. Like a lot of round poles, which is kind of rarer to get in Brazil. Normally you have those square ones, but that's something you see more so to the south or in capital cities around Brazil. Now, this is very dry, so maybe it is actually in a capital city northeast. It wasn't my first vibe, I must admit, so I don't actually know where to click here, to be honest with you. Okay, this is difficult. I'm scanning to see if we like see any like phone code or anything like that. Doesn't seem like any are going to exist here. So obviously with this dryness, okay, this view's more like better for south as well. So with the dryness that we saw out this way, I was thinking it could be all the way up here. Now I'm thinking we click more middle, like maybe Mato Grosso or something like that. I think I'm just going to hedge it all the way in Brasilia, just because I really don't know in here. It could actually be Brasilia, and it was just south of Brasilia. So that's a good guess in the end. Honestly, really good guess from our opponent here. So it could have made things a little bit scary if our opponent had have gotten really close and we went up here or something. But ultimately, we still have another round here, so let's see what happens on the last one, or second last one. Should be somewhere in Thailand here. Just doesn't quite feel right for Cambodia. And then also we don't have any antenna, which is something you see more often in Cambodia. And then also these really thin trees are very typical of Thailand. But a lot of the times they're on the border. So I'm just going to go out here maybe like that. And it was actually on the Laotian border instead. Opponent goes Cambodia, so that's fine. And the last one here is going to be somewhere in the Middle East, I imagine. Though it's a very difficult round for Middle Eastern standards. We've got rock walls here. Could this actually be Bolivia? I think it is actually Bolivia, you know. But look at these metal poles. This is weird. Okay, what's that language? It's not, where is this? Okay, so sun is, again, kind of southern. So northern hemisphere would be our thought here. It's not the UAE. It's not, could it be Chile? Chile actually could make a lot of sense here, I think. So sun, though, being kind of ambiguous sucks, I must say. I think you still have to go Peru, though, actually. I think it's just a bit safer here. I don't know, the rock walls, this redness to the soil, still could be Bolivia as well. I think I'm going to hedge it South Peru here for the win. I think it's safe enough. We'll see here. And, okay, it was, actually he goes the same. It was all the way north there, so definitely not a particularly good game from me there. We managed to get through most of them, but ultimately the Philippines was making us feel pretty confident in the first place anyway there, and we get a 2,000 point win, which is obviously nice. Okay, we're back against Salvador here. He's come back for some more, and I believe this should be our final game. So let's see here. If we can come out with a win here, I could say we're probably going to get a decent rating, but otherwise it might not be quite so good. So first one here, we got green pole. That's a Manaus meta, I believe. So I think my instinct would be to click Manaus. Now, last time it was Mato Grosso and we clicked Santarém, and that was a bit of a disaster. But this one feels at least better. We have some like Belém style palms here. But then we also have this wooden pole, which almost feels a bit like Rima. So it's mixed vibes here, that's for sure. Do we see anything specific here? These almost feel like Accra houses as well. So we have very mixed metas here. Honestly, everything feels quite a lot like Belém here, which is a bit concerning, but I think I would trust the green poles, which I believe is an Amazonas meta. So maybe it could even be like these towns out here. That would be pretty wild. I think these Belém palms would make me want to send more in the middle of the country. I just hope it's not Belém here, which it easily could be. Let's see it. And okay, was Manaus. Excellent that I remembered that meta, because that's a huge advantage there. No shame in going Accra there, because those like kind of wooden stilts houses that we saw everywhere there were super Accra. So, okay, next one here, feeling Mexican, I would say. Yellow center lines with the rocky landscape and the mountains. Feels like a Mexican style sign as well with a thick arrow there. So yeah, everything's feeling good here. We have like kind of some San Luis Potosi looking trees almost here. Nevertheless, I want to say it's a bit further north here just because of the Generation 2 camera, which is much more common. Yeah, and an improved world, yeah, I would say that would fit. So, and what I mean by that is sometimes on Community World, they've gone back and like selected old Generation 2 where it's now a newer generation, which is cheeky, but it does like kind of keep you honest, doesn't it? Yeah, I would say with this kind of vegetation, it shouldn't be too far from the border. Obviously, it's a bit of a risky guess here, but I'm gonna try it. And okay, it was actually Nuevo Leon, or just one over in Coahuila, so that's fine. Okay, next one here. Ooh, is it like Belgium or something like that? Seems like we got a wooden pole here. Also, we got some kind of a hedgerow looking thing as well. It almost feels a bit warm, and this road is weird. It's like very grainy. So I'm actually not quite sure what to make of this round overall. This is definitely like a country. We were on a 17 country streak right now, but I think this is a country streak ender. So I still think Belgium is good. What about like Denmark or something like that? I don't know about these really thin wooden poles. It's just fully confusing me here. And it's very flat. Maybe like northern France here fits better. Or maybe in central France. I don't know what to make of the vegetation. It always feels quite warm. So I guess I'll just go middle France. I could even see Eastern Europe, like Hungary, working quite nicely here as well. I don't know, but the hedgerow, we have to trust that's Western Europe. Well, Slovakia. Yeah, he goes France too, which is completely understandable. Yeah, I mean, the hedgerow is just so weird to see. And also, that was not a Slovakian poll. So, yeah, we both lose out on the country there. Next one here, we've got, well, there seems to be some, like, Javanese style polls. This one, I think, is a Central Java poll top. So, yeah, feels good to me. Roofs are obviously also fitting with the tiles and everything. So, yeah, I would just send Central Java here. We could look for a place name. I don't think it's necessarily all that necessary here, just because the vibes are all pretty good as well. I don't think it's Bali, even though we have fancy roofs here. Should just be somewhere Central Java here, so I will probably send... it feels a bit like kind of densely forested, so I'm just going to go like that. Should be fine, I reckon. And it was even Yogyakarta, yeah, I was considering that as well. He goes Bunton, which I think has similar pole tops, but not the raised trident, so that's good for us there. Obviously, commanding a big lead here, and we get some South Africa, which is another country. Oh, I thought it was South Africa, but it's just Port Lincoln, mate. Okay, there we go. Yeah, pretty easy one here. Port Lincoln is right here. I actually have family members out there. But yeah, I mean, it did look like South Africa without the Stobie poles here. He could have easily gone, especially with like this striped curb. That's what made me... Well, I guess I didn't see it, but that's also another thing that kind of looks South African. Yeah, here's a bit of South Australian meta. As a South Australian resident here, if you see an on the run OTR on the petrol station, at the moment, they're basically always in South Australia, and they're very common here. So basically, most petrol service stations are that over here. So pretty good to know. They have a bit of a monopoly here. Anyway, let's go in Port Lincoln here. Should be fine. And indeed, he gets the right city. But that is going to be a pretty easy win for us there. Even though we screwed up the Slovakia, we wouldn't have even needed to get it right because we were so much closer on the other two rounds, and we get a 2,000 point victory there, which is really nice indeed. Well, guys, we came out with a rating of 1326. So let's see where that places us on the leaderboard. And our rating of 1326 places us equal third. So, or actually fourth here, I guess it kind of updated slowly, but yeah, we're equal third now, which is kind of a crazy way to start. I was not expecting things to go quite so well at the start of this series, but maybe we should just keep... Oh, it's getting late. I have to get up in the morning, so we'll only do a few more here just to see if we can push up a little bit further here, but obviously this was a stellar start, and there it is, nice and updated, already on the podium. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. We still have quite a bit to climb, and our next opponent is 1247 rated, so definitely has the opportunity to take us down quite a way here. Rural World is a map I definitely favor myself on, so let's just get into here and see if we can play well. Okay, first round here should be somewhere in Russia. Obviously not a bad site for us here. We have like a typical normal antenna here. Vegetation-wise, I could definitely see a few things here, but it feels southern, doesn't it? So Volgograd area could work quite nicely here, I believe. And yeah, I think that's fine. So let's try and line up a road here, I suppose. That's the road angle, so I don't think that's anything along this river, which kind of has a different one. Could be like, okay, I think like more western has more vegetation like this, so it could be this road here. Do we have any smudges or anything like that here? I don't think... Yeah, I'm not really too sure on this round. The slight hilliness is slightly concerning as well, maybe. Could be further north. Yeah, I might just go somewhere around here. Let's go like this, maybe. And, oh, it was a 5k by our opponent there. I must have forgotten something there, but yeah, that's obviously a terrible way to start. Impressive guess from our opponent. Clearly, like someone who's put some time into Russia, so not ideal. Okay, next one here should just be somewhere in Chile with the all yellow road lines. I would expect this to be, is it north or south of Santiago? That's kind of interesting here. I would say that it was probably, let's actually see. We don't see any trees, which is kind of the concerning thing, or like the thing that makes it difficult. I think it actually might be north of Santiago on one of the roads that's kind of like one of these ones, maybe Rio Blanco could fit here. I mean, I know that this one has those yellow road lines, but I think it's too far south. Even this one, or maybe even Max North. We could even go Max North just to test it out, the theory, but I think with the greenness, we have to send further south here. So I'll try that, and yeah, he goes Bolivia. So all of a sudden, things are way back in the balance. That's why you have to like make the best guess you can instead of just hedging something crazy. And yeah, it was near Santiago there, so that's great. Let's head through to the next round here. This should be somewhere in Argentina, I thought, but what else is possible? It's very interesting here. The soil is so white. Man, this this map is hard, is at Botswana. So the sun is kind of midday-ish there. It's more to the south, so yeah, northern hemisphere, which would be weird. Maybe Mexico, but then Mexico, I think it might be Mexico here. So sun is definitely a bit more south, right? So north, I don't know, and the splash on the camera, I actually don't know where this is at all. It should be familiar though. Oh, Texas maybe. That would be weird, but it could be Texas. I don't think it's South Africa. It could be Botswana, but I don't think so either. I would have gone Arge, but I think I go like Texas, like Mexico border here. Is this crazy? I don't know. Okay, was Texas. Wow. And a really good guess from our opponent there. Sun saves us. Definitely kind of that western Texas crazy landscape, which you do not expect. Okay, we're back in with a shot here. Germany vibe here. Probably... Ooh, could this be Berlin? I think it's just kind of a western hedge round. But I don't mind Berlin here, I must say. Something about it. Do we have any Kung Fu Panda movie posters or anything on a bus stop? Craziest Nakas meta. We could hedge here. I think our opponent gives me strong Berlin vibes, but I think I have to hedge west here. Because I expect that's what our opponent will do. And to be fair, it is just safer. And it does feel somewhat like it's hard on urban rounds to get a strong vibe. So might hedge at Dortmund here. Now I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I don't really think so. Also, this coverage will be gone soon. They're deleting the old Gen 2. So enjoy it while you can. This old 2008 coverage. And what was it? It was Berlin. Damn. But at least he goes Frankfurt there, so that's happy for us. And so we have to get a good round here. This should be southern in Philippines. But actually, the longer I look at it, the more I think maybe central. Because we don't have that many palms here. And yeah, it is a bit strange. Like it's not many palms at all, actually. So maybe we actually do go quite far north here. I don't know. I feel like I'd be more comfortable with a middle hedge here. Reddish soil is also kind of a middle thing. Yeah, I'm just going to go Panay. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. And what's it going to be? Okay, it was actually in Palawan there. So that should be enough to come out with a win after all that, I think. Although it was very tight. And it was just a win. Actually, 2,000 points. But... gosh, guys, the Russia really made me scared. GG's to Daedalus. That win takes us to 1332, so we're still a little bit behind number 3 here and number 1. Look, guys, the intrigue is real. This series just got real. We are right on the tail of something special here, guys. Obviously, it's the start of the season, so I guess people aren't grinding that much. But we're above a whole bunch of really good players here. People have been playing a lot as well. So yeah, guys, stay tuned for the next episode. Let's see if we can hit that number 1 spot. I dare say even by tomorrow, people will have gone up a bit because that's the way rank inflation works. But thank you very much for watching the video. Give it a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in a video very soon. Till next time, goodbye.